don't know if it'll work though, because I'm not divining like an object or a person. It's like a place. So I don't know. I doubt it, but
Specific fixed location. On the same plane of existence. Yeah, here in the Mournlands, this kind of magic doesn't seem to be manifesting in its intended use.
okay.
We cannot get lost, though, because of a feature I have.
Oh, that's good.
And we ignore difficult terrain. Ooh.
That's also good. And do we want a hero's feast?
Yes, you always want a hero's
Why
feast.
not?
Yeah, Lep will cast hero's feast, including for our 2 new members.
I'll recast Mage Armor.
Well, after you guys set up camp, as you are lingering within the husk of one of these colossi, whose mark of Vecna is like visible generally at any given time?
Leps?
No, he got his hand off, remember?
He didn't grow it back?
He grew
it
back.
grew
He
back,
grew back
but the
without the
mark
mark,
didn't-
but the Vecna's
Yeah.
Vecna's your encounter with Vecna has warped.
I suppose you might be able to see Mercy's under
Oh wait,
her
Fangs
collar.
is.
Fangs is and Mercy's.
Yeah.
Jin wears gloves, so you wouldn't see his.
How much HP are you giving us with the feast, Lep?
Oh, let me roll. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Mercy's on the left collar.
Yeah, I figure hers might peek out from like under the collar of her shirt now and again.
17 temp.
Ooh, a lot better than last time.
Well, as the dead gray mist of the Mournlands hovers around you guys, in the stillness of your surrounding area here in the Mournlands, the Eberron natives, what kind of thoughts or feelings are coming to mind now that you've had some time to kind of settle?
For you.
Okay, sorry. Mercy's probably just trying to remain focused, but she is conflicted. She's glad to have found something from her family, but seeing the way they were, especially since it hasn't been that long, probably really got to her. And now she's not sure how to feel about Jayla right now, but still very distrustful.
Certainly. What about you, Jin? You see every once in a while, like, I don't know if you guys would catch this. Some of you guys might catch this, but Minnie, is kind of tucked beside Jalen, who's kind of leaning up against the wall of the husk, and Minnie's blue eyes every once in a while kind of dart around to each of you, and anytime they land on Jin, they just like quickly flash red.
Oh.
Jin is profoundly unsettled. Wants to be
Then-
literally anywhere else but here. Not very much of it will show, just because he's been around a while. Um, but like there is a tension in him that is not usually present. He is walking on the world's largest gravestone and hates every second of it.
Jalen's as Jalen's kind of a little distracted, she's been gazing at Mercy with sort of this kind of stoic look on her face, not trying to avoid her eyes or anything. Minnie reaches over, like, without trying to like disturb Jayla's concentration, and Minnie kind of grabs like a little bit of metal piping, like out of the dirt inside the husk, and begins to like write something in the dirt. It like writes O E and as it keeps going, the tension probably continues to build in you, Jin. And eventually Minnie spells out the word overseer in the dirt with the pipe. Kind of.
I wait in a
just as it's like finishing the last letter, like
Yeah.
Jalen like shifts a little bit on her weight, and quickly like Minnie scratches it out and like hucks the pipe behind him or behind her, and it like clanks on the wall, you know.
No, it clanks on left.
Oh, wow, that hurt.
with a flick, a flick, a barely perceptible flick of his wrist, he will prestidigitate the ground to scour it clean.
Lilith, there's something about the Mournlands that kind of reminds you of home. How is Lilith feeling here in the mists?
Honestly, pretty unsettled. I think between that and then hearing bits and pieces of Jalen's story, she's just kind of a little out of it. And almost, I feel like this is the most she's been isolated from everyone since, like, they all, like, got together.
Mavathor, hearing all these recounts of the story of the Silver Flame and the struggles over the last 100,000 years of recorded history here in Eberron, since the origins of the flame were kind of present in that recorded history, hearing this world's struggle with demons. Does that give you any particular feelings about Eberron?
Yeah, it definitely strikes a chord with him and the struggle of devils against demons. It also gives him some ideas that this world could, if they wanted to, really benefit from a devilish presence here to help get rid of the demons.
Well, it's something you noticed in her story and her recount of the history of the Silver Flame. She never once mentioned anything about devils. It was all demons. Lepus, are you doing anything with the river water?
Oh, he's making some tea with it. Oh, how's the unicorn? He's trying to.
You got your tea set out, and Jalen kind of casually says, I told you not to make anything with that.
Well, I mean, are you curious?
No.
Well, you don't. I mean, I'm not like offering any to you. I've been told
I-
I can't do that. I was just gonna try some.
I might even go as far to say that maybe you're too curious. Curiosity
Well,
is the spirit of curiosity is perfectly well and good. It can be taken too far.
No,
Have
yeah,
you never met a fae?
yeah.
Hmm.
They can tell you all about my curiosity.
I can't say that I have ever met a fae. Actually, what is a fae?
You don't know what a fae is?
Can't say that it sounds remotely familiar to me.
So you don't. Do you know what the Feywild is?
Heard of that as well. Now I'm getting curious. Actually, you sparked
Oh, Lep goes on rant, like explaining Fae and Eladrin and the Feywild. He even goes like the courts and the politics and like Queen Tatiana or Queen Tatiana and the Queen of Air and Darkness. He goes into everything.
And
And
then
so
You
at some
do have to
point,
sleep at some point.
at some point,
Yeah.
Lilith gets up and walks out.
She listens like very intently, and she's seems fairly thoroughly entertained. You get the sense as she's listening to you, and you draw her into your story of the Feywild. You get the impression, being in touch more so than many with emotion, that this is probably the kindest somebody has been to her in a long time. Even just telling the
Aw.
simple story of your home,
Um,
outside of Minnie, maybe. She says, well, we do have similar sounding people here on Eberron. I mean, we have people known as elves. Actually, just on the far side of Ormond's, over the mountains, there are bands of elves that ride their horses through the deserts. The elves of Valinar.
ooh. Well, maybe when we're done in the Moonlands, we can go visit.
They can be unwelcoming to strangers, but if you show that you mean them no harm, they're a proud band of people. Like most on Eberron, they have been through a lot. She looks back at to Mercy. She says, "That's an interesting marking on your collarbone there. Where did you get it?" See,
Against my will from a blasted, dead god.
I've seen it before here in the mornings. There are a group of shrouded figures that have been roaming these lands. Like anyone else searching for something. They've attacked Yalos once, but the Lord of Blades drove them off.
The Lord of Blades.
He's well, amongst the Warforged, some at least. They might call him a freedom fighter.
I'm aware of him.
Others might.
He owes me a conversation.
Others might refer to him as a terror. He's not fond of humans. Siren's least of all.
No, I suppose he wouldn't be.
Well, he does make it quite clear wherever he goes.
He owes me a conversation.
He has a war camp on the far side of this valley, just over the mountains.
Good to know. And, if you see anyone with this mark willingly, they can be killed.
Oh, the refugees in Yalos fought them off.
This might be the one time we have a mutual enemy.
She says, does it pain you, this mark? Does it cause you suffering?
Indescribable. In your blessed keep, have you ever heard of Vecna? I am slipping into Barovian, I am sorry.
That name doesn't sound familiar to me either. The people with these marks have been spotted in various places ever. They call themselves the Whispered Ones.
Do you know what a lich is?
That I do know. Awful.
Take a lich and make it a god and multiply it a few thousand times. And that's probably close to Vecna.
She says, if you'd like, I could try to ease you of your suffering this mark brings.
You know what? Why the hell's not? If you can get this thing off of me, I'll pledge myself to your flame.
Woo, friendship.
She says, there's no need to lie to me. It is,
I'm not lying. I do not lie. If you can remove this, I will pledge myself to your flame. Not the
I see.
corrupted one, yours.
She stands up and she comes over to you and she sort of like pushes your collar aside. And
Watching very closely is Jin.
Mercy just kind of motions for him to wait.
she places her hand gently over the mark. She says softly, the silver flame is a force of light that holds the fiends at bay. Even though I did not ask to be what I am, I do believe that those that seek to defeat the innocent from evil can draw on the power of the flame, even though it has darkened. And, she's going to try and use a divine intervention on you. She has to roll under a 28.
You can do this.
Oh,
Damn.
could I slap her with a guidance?
Can I help her with anything?
Yeah, you can, Mavathor.
All right.
How do you participate? What you see is, as she kneels down and she places her hand on your mark, Mercy, you all see like this gentle silver light kind of emanate out from under her palm, and then the hand that's like on your neck bursts into this kind of silvery flame as her head kind of snaps back and her eyes go wide. You can see like little beams of silver light like spilling out from her eyes.
You see Mavathor suddenly have a realization as he leans down and his hand of bell hand comes over, and you see the red flame start to mix in with the silvery blue one.
A voice that is not her own, not Jayla's. As you mix your divine energy with hers, Mavathor, pushing her into the bounds of what she needed for this divine intervention, spills out of her mouth. And it says, Jayla, I need you. And then she lets out this dark, resonant scream, and the Mavathor, the red flames burst from her eyes, and the gentle, soft silver flame on her hand catches fire as well, and it sort of burns you a little bit, Mercy. But as Jayla falls back, kind of limp on her side, unmoving, you guys all see that Mercy's mark is gone. And like in Harry Potter, when the Dementors are kind of trying to suck the soul out of them or whatever, this mode of dark energy floats up out of your mouth and into the center of you guys. And it hovers there for a few moments, and then there is this sort of implosion, and this force is so strong that below where the orb is hovering, it creates a small crater in the ground, and that energy blows past all of you, pushing you all back.
Is
Lilith,
Lep
Can I
able to
catch
save
was
his
Jayla
team?
to make
outside.
sure that she isn't hurt?
What, say again?
Can I catch Jayla so she isn't hurt from the blast?
Sure. You grab onto her, like you throw your arm over her as the blast, just as the blast goes, and you hold onto her so she's not blown like into some jagged, rusted shard of metal. And Mercy, you have all your death saves back. You are no longer marked by Vecna.
Nice.
Nice.
She's just
Um,
going to
Fascinating.
look between Jayla and the crater and just utter and complete shock and disbelief.
Lilith was outside when most of this happened, but I would assume she would have run back inside at the sound of Jayla.
Even you, the blast, as you're like outside between two pieces of Colossus, the blast just knocks you back like 5 feet off your feet into the dirt.
All you hear is Lilith go, "What the fuck are they doing in there?"
Is Lep able to save his team? He used all of the river water at one time. Is he able to save?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But she's okay.
Yeah, like your like front hooves go out and you like you know around the tea set or whatever, and they like shiver and almost shatter, but you kind of block it with your body, and your unicorn mane is like blowing in the blast as it flies past you.
Thank goodness the tea is safe.
Thank the gods the tea is safe.
Lilith runs in and her hair is like... She goes, "What? I was gone for like 2 minutes. What happened?"
This wasn't
You gotta be
me.
shitting me.
We
It
managed to remove Vecna's mark off of Mercy.
And
Combined
we
power
managed
of
to
Jayla and
reveal
I.
our location to anyone in this valley.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should probably get out of here as soon as possible.
Do you want to hop on my back? I can run pretty quickly.
Let's put Jayla on your back. The rest of us can
Okay.
walk.
Mercy, with that feature you have, you do notice that group of undead moving towards you.
Shit. Hey, Minnie, can you guide us towards the village in a way that is not north?
Minnie beeps and whirs and kind of rolls over to Jayla and kind of gently prods her cheek and kind of like looks up at you with her eyes kind of go a little dim.
She'll
She
recover,
will
but she
okay
won't be
without
safe.
me.
Sorry.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. Jin will say she'll be okay, but she won't be safe if we stay here.
Minnie, her little feet pop out from under her, and she like waddles towards you and kicks you in the shin and turns back and like her legs fall back and she kind of rolls forward off like in the direction of the river.
Just your Lilith go,
Follow the robot.
Yeah.
Put on my back. Let's go.
By the way, Mavathor, thank you too. We will discuss this later.
Yeah, seems like you owe me one. Actually,
And I pay my debt,
multiple.
so don't worry.
Multiple times over, actually, but we can discuss infernal payment later.
All right, you guys are on the move. Minnie.
Again.
Minnie. I guess you don't get the benefits of a long rest. You do get the benefits of the hero's feast. Go ahead, Mercy.
How long is that, by the way?
No, I just said that we did get to eat.
Yeah, you did get to eat.
Yeah.
Maybe a little over an hour has gone by. You guys had started into conversation, and you'd just been kind of talking inside the husk of the colossi, and then all of this happened. So, as Minnie bobbles back across the river, you guys gather yourselves and follow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What kind of pace are you guys setting?
If we're gonna be going like relatively quickly, and Avatar will use one of those scrolls of pass without trace to make it harder for things to find us.
Yeah.
Jin will tell you to save your scroll for when it will be for a more opportune time, as he taps he taps one of the reliefs on the side of his mask and casts Path Without Trace.
Okay, give me a group stealth check. With pass without trace, but with also disadvantage.
Ooh, okay.
That's still a 25.
Mm.
That's more than a 25.
19.
Would I roll normal since I have advantage on stealth checks?
Yeah.
Okay.
36.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. I do have heavy armor.
Right,
So what, the lowest is 19?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the guidance thrown on, so 23.
Wait, does Lepus roll with unicorn stats or Lepus stats?
Oh, I have no idea. I was going with
That's a
Lepus
great question.
stats.
All right, I
should
have
probably
to.
do it with stats.
I have a question for you, Mercy, and this can be up to you. In your sordid history with Zet, have you had any actual physical altercations with Zet in the past and the Black Raider Riders?
Oh, I'm sure the two of them have had many toe-to-toe confrontations.
You said you have her eye.
Yep. I'm not taking it back. Mercy took her eye, and they've probably left scars on each other.
All right. You guys were up the river, following Minnie, on the eastern side of it, and oops. And trying to pass without trace, you still are moving at a quick pace. As you guys make your way forward, at after about an hour of jogging, after a few minutes, as Jalen's kind of being jostled by whoever's carrying her, she comes awake again. She's kind of like, "What? Did it work?"
Yes, it did.
She lets out a long sigh. She says, then not all hope is lost. And then about an hour later, as you guys are, she starts to travel on her own. And, as you guys are kind of running through the mists, Jalen's eyes are lit up with like a silver glow, and Minnie kind of whirs to a stop. And after about an hour, up ahead, along both sides of the riverbank, you can make out the shadowy shapes of what look like large tents or something. Not ruined pieces of Colossus, but shapes that are like the size of like decently sized like yurts, and you can actually even see like the flicker of candle or campfire light coming out of some of them. Like a few of the tents are actually kind of aglow, which helps you see them through the mist. Does that feature just, is it like always on, or does it have an amount of time that it lasts where you can track the undead around you?
Good question. I don't
takes
believe
her,
it does.
It takes her a minute to do.
In concentration?
Oh, as if concentrating. So as long as you're concentrating on it, you can keep it going then. So you can still have been concentrating on it this whole time if you'd like.
Yes, please.
As you guys are running, you realize the whole time that this particular group of undead that part of you, Mercy, believes is probably Zet and her crew. Their movements are matching in tandem with your party. They're kind of making a beeline to this camp now that's in front of you. And from where you guys were and from where they were, it's kind of equidistant, so they're matching your pace as well. And you get the impression that somehow, for some reason, much like you know where she is, she knows where you are.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, if you don't want to deal with them, I can just fly us all over.
And maybe she hadn't before the release of the necrotic energy that Jayla had exhumed out of you, but after the blast, it seems as though she, Zet, has been alerted to the presence of her old rival.
Okay, so I have a question.
Sure.
Well, you said we're in sight of the tents, right?
You guys can see half a dozen tents plopped up in the mist ahead. About half of a dozen have like a glow of some kind of lamp or candlelight illuminating the tent, which is unwise in its own right. But the people who are camped here doesn't seem to make a difference to them. You can't see any people or figures wandering around, and you don't sense any undead in the camp itself. But on the other side of the river, coming towards the camp, is that group of undead. I guess I could give you a number. It is the large entity that you detect, and you know Zed is kind of this disfigured, large person now. She's like 10 feet tall and kind of this strange, gangled monstrosity of a woman.
She was always jealous of my height.
Yeah, she's got a one-upman thing with you, you know. And traveling with her is 4, 5, 6, 10 other figures, resonating with some essence of undeath. Some are stronger than others, but they all have some twinge of undeath to them.
Okay, my next question is, would the mom van get us there before them?
Yeah, it would increase your speed significantly, sure.
Okay, well, at this point, I think stealth is pretty much out the window. So,
Oh,
How fast can the mom van go?
I mean, it's a it's an overland vehicle. Its top speed is probably, I guess it's hard to, I can't math out like
I
feet per
just
second
asked,
in my head, but it's got a speed of Mercy can get it up to 90 feet per round, I guess.
with or without dashing.
Without dashing.
Okay. I just didn't know if Leprechaun was faster or not.
so about 15 miles an hour.
I guess maybe its top speed is probably 50. So maybe even faster than that. I just can't do that kind of math in my head.
No, yeah. Leb is just gonna say like, I don't know how fast the mom van goes, but I mean I can go probably.
The
like
reason it
100.
would be slower is because of the terrain. The
Yeah.
difficult terrain won't hinder, you guys traveling on foot necessarily, but the roughness of it would hinder the vehicle.
She could upcast it, turn it into a waterborne thing, and we could go up the river.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mom boat.
I mean, if you wanna. Oh, sorry.
I think at this point, it's whatever's going to get us to this encampment before Zet and the others. So, if a riverboat gets us there faster, because I know most of us can fly, but I still think this is going to be faster.
Make a perception check for me.
Wait, I get advantage against favored enemy.
It's against the terrain. It's not against the enemy.
Damn, I tried. Never mind.
You can spot, kind of taking a closer look at the camp. One of the tents near the river, some of its glow is kind of casting off into the river, and you can see some sort of dark shape that's going across the river, some kind of bridge or something, maybe a dam, it could be a barrier, something of that nature. So the boat would get you to the camp maybe a little quicker than the vehicle. It's possible that if you tried to go through the camp on the boat, you might not be able to pass whatever that object is blocking the river there.
Did Jayla tell us what this camp was?
She said it was a camp of scavengers. Not like the Warforged of Ialos. They are opportunists. Likely not to be friendly.
You can get
probably
us.
not friendly to the undead either. So if we try and bait them into the village,
yeah, it's a third party
reaction.
It's a third party that will have to make their own decisions about what's going on.
Yeah.
Would I be able to bribe them into covering our tracks for us?
Maybe not you, but I.
You are uncertain of that. That's a case by case basis.
Hey, Ryan, how tall does that barrier look from here?
You guys are far enough away, and the mist and the darkness and everything makes it so that you're not sure if it's a barrier or a bridge. But it's not risen above the water level of the river too much.
Okay.
Oh,
If
wait,
you
I
want
just
to,
noticed
if you
that
want to
the
boat down the
airborne-
river Mercy, I can get us over that obstruction.
I can also just try and destroy it.
I imagine some of this like tactical conversation is going on, maybe like in the group chat, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jayla says, I don't know what's going on here, but whatever's happening, we should avoid that camp, and we shouldn't lead anything dangerous into Yalos. The Warforged there have been generous in allowing me safe harbor in their encampment, and I wouldn't want to bring anything that would cause them to befall suffering or ill will.
That option has, to borrow a phrase, sailed, burned, and sunk.
But we can
Uh,
still, like, stop these guys from getting to Yalos.
Well, they're coming towards you, and Jayla is just saying,
Yeah.
like, she's trying to figure out what you guys are trying to decide, but she says, whatever it is, we can't, I don't know what you're running from, but can't lead them to Yalos.
No, Lep is saying, like, if she's worried about that, we can just fight them and stop them.
Yeah, that's what she's trying to. She's
Yeah.
not entirely certain what's going on, so she's sensing that you guys are trying to decide something. And she wants to
Okay.
protect the people of Yalos.
Okay, quick mental group chat thing. So I don't have the spell slots to make an airborne vehicle, but I can make one, and if someone can get us over, I also have flares I can drop on this side to draw the scavenger's attention behind us towards Zet.
Okay, if you want, I'm a fucking flying unicorn. I can fly up there and be a distraction for all to see.
we're going
I
to
can go like
Serenity this.
100 feet per like 6 seconds, my guys.
I don't want you to make yourself a target when you only have one death save.
But it's fine. You want me to earn my trust back? Let me do this.
Lep's died too many times for this to work.
Yeah.
You gotta trust him. It might work this time.
Is there a good vantage point around here? Just an elevated.
Unfortunately, as
position.
you traverse the valley, it's sort of descending, into the valley. There's no like high ground around the camp or the river. It's starting to sort of dip and then flatten out a bit for a while.
No sniper's perch.
You might be able to find like a hillside, that's maybe kind of a hump that's slightly elevated that you could, hunker down on.
Wait, are we overthink squatting this? Jin, do you still have invisibility?
I do have invisibility. Or rather, it is a spell that I can cast.
If we
It's
cast it on a vehicle
yeah.
we were all in, could we just kind of mosey on past?
Target's a creature, not an object, I believe.
Target's a creature, not an object. Mass invisibility on a area is a different spell.
Sad.
But if we want to make a stand, put you up in a sniper position, that fancy new sniper rifle you have can get off a fair number of shots before really anything gets particularly close.
Okay, she's going to look at Jayla then. We may have to fight a group of undead. Are you able and willing to help?
She says, every affront of the living that dies by my hand is a step closer to extinguishing the darkness living in the silver flame. Yes. Would be my pleasure and honor.
Okay, let's do this. Everyone find a position.
Mercy.
Lap.
It seems like we're gonna be attacking, which is cool. I love that.
He just wants
I
to be
can-
a distraction.
I can give you guys some more time. I mean, I want to help, and this is a way I can help. I know you don't trust me, and I know I can't be that helpful sometimes, and I get that, but like, please, can I not try?
You know what? It's a day for miracles. Don't get yourself killed.
Thank you. Leprechaun shoots up in the sky.
That's an order. No dying.
You got it.
Give me a sec here. I'm
Uh,
manifesting terrain on the fly.
Yeah. Basically, Lep is gonna just fly in like the center of all of this, and just make himself a disco ball.
All right.
And we are now visible to everything in this valley.
AKA dumb.
real quick, Lilith's gonna cast Warding Bond on Mavathor.
Real quick, I'm gonna re-up Mage Armor.
Yeah,
quick,
you
I'm
guys
gonna
have
cast
enough
a
time
spell on
to.
Lepus.
You guys have enough time to kind of prepare yourselves here. Any pre-combat magic that you'd like to do? Start firing it off.
How much time?
We'll determine that shortly. Jayla, you see a silver flash of magic in her hand, and she casts a bless on all of you.
Thank you.
Less than an hour.
Casting
I'm
Aid
casting my
at
spell
level
on the-
3.
Minotaur will cast Holy Weapon on Mercy's new shiny sniper rifle.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Also, if I remember from my notes, you said when I cast the spell, I could choose either a 3 to AC or a 3 to Dex saves.
Yeah, I remember you have some feature like that.
Yeah, I posted it to the chat. She's going to slap that on Lepus with the +3 to the AC.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you now have all those resistances.
Oh, okay. Let me. Okay.
Okay, everyone gets an extra 10 HP.
15 if you cast it at level 3. Oh wait, no, it's second level spell. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Awesome.
Okay, so 10 HP, magic weapon, and I want to find a good sniper point.
You have a sharpshooter?
Wait, I never.
No, because I'm
Oh.
dual weapon fighting.
Oh, bummer. So you can shoot out to 1,200 feet, but you'll be at disadvantage. Is there anything I can do to help you with that?
Well, I have bless now and aid? Question mark.
Jin stands next to you and holds out the scope of stares down the scope of Penumbra and acts as your spotter, giving you advantage. There we go.
All right. So,
And the hunting dog.
how close do you guys? How close do you guys get? You guys aren't going directly into the camp, right? You guys are kind of gonna try and position on the periphery of it and find good positions,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you guys are finding good spots to to wait to ambush. Lepus, describe what you do.
Yes, you see a magical flying unicorn fly up 100 feet in the air. He is trying to position himself as in between as he can between this undead group and this camp of scavengers, and he is enveloped in a 60-foot radius sphere of light.
My God.
As he
He's the naval military.
and he just does the loudest neigh you ever hear.
He has flashbanged everything in the nearby area.
The fuck you for ruining our night vision.
And he's just flying around in that area, just trying to get the attention as much shit as possible.
In the midst of the moorlands, as a disco ball of leprechaun light just spills out from the center of your unicorn companion. It illuminates the entirety of this camp spanning two sides of the river here. Leprechaun, from below you hear some voices kind of shout, and you see a cloaked head poke out of one of the tents. And then from the far side of the camp on the western bank of the river, outside of the other side of the periphery of the camp, the light kind of it darkens the far side of Lepus, making the shadows and mists of the moorlands deepen. And then the farthest tent on the edge of the camp, one of the dark ones, it's one of the larger tents though, there is a little flash and a mushroom cloud of flame billows up as that tent explodes. And in the flash of the explosion, as the billow of smoke is wafting out, in that brief moment of flare of that light, you can see nearly a dozen figures running through the mist and the darkness. One of them is
Go ahead.
Okay. One of them is this lumbering 10-foot tall necrotic-looking woman with an eye patch, and Mercy, as you're looking down the barrel of your gun, you can see this gleeful, just wide grin on her face. Her eyes are wide at the slaughter, the thought of the slaughter she knows is about to ensue. And you can see one of the figures beside her pulling another canister of some sort out of off of his person and pulling a pin to throw another, what must have been one of these grenades that exploded this first tent. And,
cool.
Go ahead.
As they're running, can you cast Firestorm on them?
As you is daylight a concentration, or does it just last?
Nope.
Daylight, let me check.
It just lasts.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's just last, yeah.
As a rain of fire begins to come down on that group coming towards the veterans camp, Mercy, as you're looking at Zet through the down the barrel of your gun, you see her reach back and pull her two long swords from behind her, and she kind of extends her wings like a bird as she just flies through the smoke of that tent that exploded and sort of disappears in it, and that is where we'll end the session.
Ah, bummer. I knew it was coming, but man,
it's gonna be a thing, you know.
Yeah, what really sucks is I can't use my hunter's mark with this rifle.
This session has just become my second favorite session of the campaign, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was kind
You're
of
welcome.
hoping that thing would work because of the sheer